Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. In the previous episode, we did the. Oh wait, I remember now. There was a very nice campfire scene where we were all talking about what we do when we get out of the killing game. Like we're all gonna get out of the killing game, that's so real. Like all of us are dying. Well, if we believe what Fu told us, only one of us can make it out of here. So all that talk about the future is kind of meaningless if Fu's telling the truth. But I think we can all reasonably guess that Fu was just talking out of his ass, and we can't really trust anything he was saying. But besides that. Laura came in, it got very awkward. We kind of just excluded her from the group, and she was like, okay. It is fine, you don't have to like me, but just so you know, I am doing what I can for the group. And if my actions cause you to hate me, so be it." And I'm like, okay, that is a very ominous way to put it. If we all end up hating you, I'm sure there's a good reason for it. So the fact that you're willing to go to such lengths kind of scares me a little bit, but I'm going to ignore that fact. But let's get into the episode. There'll not be enough yapping from me. I believe we left off at a free time event. Yes, I think this is the fourth free time event of the chapter so far. So I think hopefully it's going to be. The last two times there weren't any people down here to do anything, so maybe there's going to be someone this time. Hopefully. Oh boo! How? Of course, no one be here. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. I don't care at all. I never cared. I wouldn't care at all. Emilia, do you have anything to say?
What the hell do you want?
Should I try talking to Emilia? Absolutely.
You know, they asked me to do this because I was kind of like her.
Who?
Who else?
Harry.
We were around a similar age, similar drive. Guess who was said? It was said in the message after everything that had happened. I kind of wish they'd picked me for my own merits, like, you know, I taught myself Japanese from scratch.
Why'd you feel the need to do that? You're Italian, are you not? Well, spoilers for the original Antebellum game, but I'm pretty sure Emilia was the ultimate pyromancer. So if she is, assuming that she's also an ultimate in this version, and there's no reason to believe she is, except for at the very beginning. I mean, I think it was the chapter 1 trial. Someone said, you wouldn't understand what it's like to be an ultimate. And then Emilia got very, like, tense. So, aside from that, there's no reason to believe that she is an ultimate. But in the off chance she is an ultimate, she would have to come to Japan for Hope Peak Academy. So that's why I'd assume she'd have to learn Japanese. That's the only reason I could think of.
We lived in Italy for a while, yeah. When I was about 10, we moved to Japan so my dad could help with research at Hope's Peak.
Also, can I just say, it is kind of weird that, so clearly, Emilia has some kind of connection to Akari, and that's probably where her anti-ultimate sentiment originated from. But isn't it crazy that Shinku knew this? Because in chapter 2, I remember Shinku saying, when talking to Emilia, that something about Akari. And Shinku knows that he knows Emilia, so I think it's kind of crazy that he just never brought up in chapter 1, nor did he ever tell the group that he knows Emilia. I think that's just kind of crazy. Like, it was just kind of such a crazy thing to just reveal out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I know guys, by the way, Claire, I know Emilia. It's like, excuse me, why did you not tell me this before? But regardless, I guess we just kind of move on. If Shinku doesn't care about me enough to tell me that, why should I care enough about him to care why he does stuff? Like, why?
He tried to make sure I couldn't speak Japanese, so I couldn't communicate or really advocate for myself.
Okay, well that's not terrifying.
But I was always stubborn. I did what I could to learn it bit by bit. I think I'm pretty good at it now. I can even read most kanji.
Congrats. Well, it's really impressive you taught Japanese to herself. You don't have to sound so sarcastic about it just because you were born here.
Yeah, before you know it. I'll even be able to read Kanban. That's the real bit they don't warn you about. First step, katakana. Next step, trigonometry or some shit. I don't know. I never did maths, but I will someday.
For some reason, I thought she was.
I'm going to learn Japanese algebra.
Oh, you know, maths is kind of universal.
Shut up, Shinku.
Bragging about basic school knowledge. It's almost like talking to a little kid. Okay, well, trigonometry is not basic. You don't have to say that. Writer. I'm sure you will?
Hell yeah, I will. Just you watch. I can make any subject my bitch. Anyways, beggars can't be choosers. I didn't think too hard on how they just wanted me to be emblematic of girls like Akari. I don't really think I was anything like her, but no one really knew anything about her. The world only started giving a shit about her after she was already dead. I just wanted to be part of something, I guess. Or maybe I wanted to make sure people would give a shit about me while I was alive. Who knows? I didn't think too hard about it. I just took the offer.
From Fu, of all people, ugh. I find that quite hard to believe.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, maybe we should lean into the fact my dad was an ultimate a bit more. I don't know why they don't. I feel like that would make the message stronger. You could see just what his bullshit caused. The real effects it had on real people. They didn't want to dilute the message or make it seem too personal. When, like, yeah, my issues with the system are a bit fucking personal. Sorry I can't be neutral on years of unchecked abuse. My fucking dad.
That's a little harsh, don't you think? What are you harsh on? What?
It's deserved, did you ask me?
Are you saying calling it abuse is harsh, which is kind of questionable if her own dad didn't let her learn Japanese to communicate with other people, or are you saying her feelings are a bit harsh? Which I don't think harsh is the correct word. Wait, so did you pick who got to be a part of this game?
No, I didn't have any say in that. Unfortunately, I could suggest people, but I don't know if they even considered them.
Did anyone you suggest get in?
One person.
Who's that?
You.
I don't think I want to talk to Amelia right now. Who did you think it was, Shingu? She knew Akari. Of course you were the one person she suggested. And honestly, I was going to say good for her, but that feels a bit much. But right, I guess I have to make the rounds now. Oh, hey, Asuka. What are you doing looking at the curtain? Oh, that's how Takiko escaped from this place. Right, kind of forgot about that part. Asuka seemed to be in silence. Their gaze locked onto the curtain to the upper level of the stage. They were so deep in thought, they hadn't even noticed me approaching until I spoke. Hey, Asuka, are you okay?
Sorry, I didn't see you there, Sinku. Can I help you? I was doing some practice, but thought I'd take a little break, so you're not interrupting anything. Don't you worry.
It isn't your fault. Try not to stir in yourself. Thanks for earlier. Thanks for earlier.
It was nice. Getting to talk about the future and everything.
I really do hope we are able to get out of here. Even if it's unlikely we'll exactly be let out into freedom. I'm admittedly a little worried about incarceration when we get out of here.
I just try not to think about it all too much. It stresses me out. And we've already got more than enough stress about here.
You can say that again. I guess I just find it pretty easy to be in my own head these days.
Well, you do seem pretty lonely these days.
I guess so.
If you need to kill some time and not people, and not think about it all a bit too hard, why don't you stay here? We can hang out for a bit.
Maybe later?
Good. So, like, I'm being traumatized looking at this curtain and thinking about all the mistakes I made in the past. No biggie. I need to clear my head anyway. I'm gonna go back to practice. I'll see you all at the meeting later. Okay? Okay, bye.
Oh, okay, alright. Try not to strain yourself. Don't die, please. Yeah, I had a feeling reminding her that it's not her fault would probably pissed her off. Maybe not pissed her off, but it probably would have put her in a worse mood, which is why I didn't choose that option. And I didn't even realize the second option, because thanks for early just seemed like the right thing to say at the moment. Okay, what's going on here? I'm totally being the third wheel. What's happening? Hello? Sorry, Ismini, I'm gonna make you hate me even more now. Guys, these things are everywhere, huh? Out of everything in the prison, they're one of the few things I simply cannot wrap my head around. What on earth are dolls doing here of all places? Don't know, but they're like freakishly well maintained compared to everything else in the prison, right? If they belong to some kid who used to beer or something, you expect them to be all worn down and shit.
Perhaps they were just a careful and responsible child?
No way. No matter how responsible a kid is, they always find a way to wear this sort of shit down. Trust me.
I wouldn't know. I never needed some ridiculous stuffed animal or doll as a child. I matured faster than other children. Such things were below me.
I think that's not really a good thing, Ismini. Okay, wow. Hello, evil. Hello, the big bad. Hello, main villain of the game. Backstory, hello. James, what kind of sad childhood is that? What did you play with? Books?
Well, yes, I read. I read quite a bit, actually. I could even keep up with adults when discussing certain pieces of literature.
That made you real popular on the playground.
I'd rather be regarded as exceptional than be popular with other children my own age. Adolescent popularity is meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
Dunno, seems pretty miserable to me. Sometimes you gotta just do things because they make you happy.
Well, being exceptional made me happy. Being the smartest person in the room made me happy. Being better than everyone else in the entire world made me happy.
Exceptional is just anything that falls either side of the bell curve. You can be dumb as shit and still be technically exceptional, just because it's outside the norm. And if you ask me, being stupid is way easier than being smart.
But you're by no means stupid, Chattel. I pity you, really. Playing dumb all the time. Quite frankly, it would drive me insane.
Okay, so guys, are we just gonna ignore that I'm not here? Because when are we going to realize I'm intruding on your date?
I'd rather be myself than placate silly men by dumbing myself down. If they can keep up with me, then they can be left behind.
Well, you're not leaving me behind, are you?
That's because you're not stupid, Chattel. But with how much you're making me reiterate it, I'm almost inclined to believe you are.
I mean, you're also kind of inclined to believe you're mature, but, you know, it's pretty immature to still brag about not needing a stuffed toy as a child when you're in your 20s. That struck a nerve, huh?
Oh, be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about.
God, you want to make out with me so bad right now, it makes you look stupid.
Let me make that clear. That was never even remotely on the table here.
Yalas, babe. Ismini seems to be busy hanging out with Lyra right now. I shouldn't interfere. However, I should clearly eavesdrop for several minutes before noticing this. I was just glad to see her with someone for once. Okay, well, I have Asuka, so even if I lose, even if I fail to be a human being with everyone else in the prison, I at least have her as a backup plan. And Lyra and Ismini are off the table.
Kutsuki, was dinner to your liking? I was trying my best to make it satisfactory while taking care to ration what we had. I appreciate it might not be as fulfilling as you're used to. Please, rest assured, you won't get ill.
Thanks. I do appreciate it. I'm feeling a little tired, but I always do, so I don't think it's the food.
Well, if it persists, do let me know. I'm sure I could find something to help with that.
Thanks.
Is something the matter, Kutsuki?
You're acting just like before. I'm sorry. No, not at all. I think no, not at all is the right answer, but I want to see what she says to I'm sorry.
What do you have to apologize for?
I don't know. I just feel guilty.
Do you have something to admit, Kutsuki?
I couldn't tell her about the meetings, but it was clear to me she was just trying to help here. I think I'm just tired. I should get some rest.
Yes, I believe that would be a good idea. We've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow.
Right.
Kutsuki, when Amelia's office is locked tonight, I will just let the others know. It will be all your fault. You're the one that tipped me off. You're once again a failure that everyone down in this prison once again. You absolute fool.
Oh, hey, you. What are you doing here?
I gotta say, using a campfire to circumvent corrupt restrictions to the kitchen is pretty smart. Real shame Scrunchy ended up getting milked like she did. She had a lot of potential for Hope's Peak essentially sedated her like a 1950s something.
Wait, how do you...
It's my prison. Of course I know what's going on inside it.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. I guess I just hadn't thought about it too hard. Well, that would mean you'd have access to the cameras here, and the only way he'd have access to the cameras is if he had access to a room we didn't know about. So he probably just spied on us, let's be honest. He was just eavesdropping on us. Because he doesn't have access to a camera room. If he was, he'd be there the whole time. He wouldn't bother talking with us.
But you'd ought to thank me for not interrupting, kid. I thought I'd let you have your moment.
And now he confesses to eavesdropping on us, which means he didn't find out the information by it being quote-unquote his prison. He found out by eavesdropping on us, which means he's... You're being so obvious.
I'm surprised you want to go to Tokyo when you get out of here, though. I know you're not entirely stupid, kid. Even you know you're eaten alive there right now.
It's been a few months. It's important to me. Maybe you're right. It's important to me.
Well, it's unlike you to be this insistent on something. I guess if you got your heart set on it, despite how stupid it is, it must be important. And it's your fashion, really. To see you put something you care about above your own interests for once. I can commend that at least. Maybe you're not half bad.
I don't particularly care what you, of all people, think of me.
Well, I like you.
And I can't say it's mutual.
Well, if you want to maybe try and change that, I've got some time to kill. How's about we spend some time together, kid?
No way.
You're lost. I was trying to lend you a hand there, kid. But I guess I can respect you taking the stand against me. At the very least.
So we're just missing Zeke's dialogue now. Hey, Zeke. Ezekiel was busy in the gym, seeming to be burning off some steam by aggressively punching some of the boxing machines. But he hadn't put the proper gloves on, so his hands were already red from the repeated impacts. You really might want to take a break there, Zeke.
Yeah. I was just trying to work out while I still have the energy to. If that skimpy ass dinner is any consolation, our portion sizes from here on out are going to be ridiculous.
It's better than running out of food, at least?
I guess so, though when you really think about it, we're running out of food anyway, so we're not running out of food, we're just delaying the inevitable.
And we got marshmallows today. That was nice at the very least, right?
It was alright, I guess. I mean, it's always fun hanging with lions, and you and Isabel weren't as bitchy as I was expecting.
Thanks.
Just kind of bothers me a bit how much okay, this is gonna make me sound stupid controlling or some shit. Maybe I'm just reading into it. But did you get the impression she, wanted to get away from me and also...
Not really. I just think she wants some space to grow when she's out of here. I'm sure once she's figured that stuff out, she'll meet up with you all again.
Yeah, I guess. It just kind of bothers me. Maybe I'm just paranoid or some shit, but there's a non-zero chance she'll just never talk to us after all of this. I kind of wish I could just drag her along with me and make sure she doesn't do anything dumb when this game is over. You feel?
Well, no, because that does sound pretty controlling, to be honest.
We've been ride or dies until this point. I don't see why that should change anytime soon.
Sounds like you just don't want to be alone. That's pathetic. Maybe you need time too. You know what? Just because we're finally getting closer to Zeke, pissing him off with just saying that's pathetic would be hilarious. Sounds like you just don't... Let's say, sounds like you just don't want to be alone.
Oh, I know you're not using that grade 1 psych bullshit on me right now, Sam.
Well, it's pretty clear.
I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm gonna get a shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Now I wish I did say you're pathetic, because I thought that might have been the right answer, but fine. It's whatever. Well, I guess I should teleport to where I'm going to hang out with.
No.
Hey, Fu. Yes, I know I said that I really liked Asuka and I was really planning to hang out with her. But I'm very interested to see how Fu's free time events will be, considering he's quote unquote working with the prison, like, and I've already said it 20 times that I don't believe that, and I just want to see how he acts. I want to see if he says anything weird.
Fine. Trust me, kid. You're not gonna regret it.
I didn't want to hang out with Fu. Just looking at him filled me with an unfathomable amount of rage and anger. What a pathetic and aggravating man he was, putting a group of people almost a decade younger than him in a death game for profit, parading it as some kind of justice I knew he did not believe in. And yet, here I was, watching as he drank yet another bottle of something I couldn't quite identify, turning to look at me with a smug grin.
Gonna use those fists, or just keep 'em clenched, kid.
I hadn't even noticed. I deserve to know why you're doing this. You owe me that much. I mean, does he owe you that much? He doesn't really owe you anything, to be honest. I mean, I know he's probably not working with the game, so he doesn't have any reason to do that. I feel like the better question I'm more intrigued about is why he's faking doing this, and I'm sure that's going to be exposed at some point because of what Laura said during that farming event. But yeah, I feel like it has something to do with Takeo being executed, but I'm really curious why he's doing this.
I don't think I owe you anything, kid. It's not like you've ever done anything for me.
You've never done anything for anyone. If any of us deserve to be here, it's you. I don't believe for 1 second you believe in anything the anti-ultimators believe, especially not when you've done nothing but benefit from the system your whole life.
Whatever you wanna believe, kid. You know what? You can make up your own reason in your head as to why I'm doing it. Any answer I could give you, I'm sure you discard as a lie or something.
Well, that's all you seem to be able to offer any of us.
So, why bother asking in the first place?
Is he wearing red eyeliner, or is that just a weird spray to show anger? What is that? I don't think that was always there. What are you doing? When did you pull out the makeup? I mean, it kind of looks good right now. If you could tell me where you're going, just saying.
You're not going to be satisfied with anything. You just want something to tear apart. Feel morally better, even if you don't believe it. Like, I could tell you I'm just doing this all because it's fun.
There's no way. Yeah, you kind of just proved this point immediately.
See? That's your problem. You think you want answers, but if you're given one you don't like, you just don't accept it. Did it with the Suicide Pact? Doing it now. You really don't change at all.
You drove her to that. Don't you dare talk about her. How did Fu drive her to that specifically? I am confused. I know Michael, or Molly even, did the Suicide Pact, but that was because of the sudden loss of the birthday party, went horribly wrong and now she was so excited for it. I'm sure that was just tipped her over the edge from the stress of the killing game. I'm not sure how Fu drove her to that. Oh, Fu brought her into the killing game, so he means like not directly but more of an indirect sense. Okay, I understand. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of circumstances drove her to that.
Guess you'll still push the responsibility onto anyone or anything but her, huh?
I mean, yeah, it is pretty much her fault. I guess you can make the argument that it obviously it's the people running the game's fault, because if they never ran the game, then she never would have done the Suicide Pact. But Molly has still done a lot of bad stuff regardless, so she still has a lot of fault to do with the Suicide Pact.
Next you'll be saying Jack Cool was forced to do what he did.
I mean, he wasn't forced, but if he didn't do anything, his mom was gonna get extremely hurt. He saw what happened to Ezekiel's friend. If something similar happened to him, it might not happen to his mom, but it might have happened to one of his sisters. Like, I feel like he had a very valid reason. Like, I understand murder is bad, but if you're going to choose between strangers that you didn't really know, or you only knew for 2 months, or your mom and all your sisters, I mean, you're going to choose your mom and your sisters. Hopefully, you choose them if they were not like bad, but like I feel like you choose them. I mean, he knew his meanie as beforehand, but like other than that, I feel like I could understand why he chose his sisters. And also, Dracul didn't even know by murdering that everyone's lives would be at risk. He just thought he could kill someone, save his family, and then get out. He didn't think that everyone else would die because of it. So even disregarding the fact that he knew these people for a lot less longer, he didn't even know that everyone being executed was into consideration. So like you did kind of force him into that situation, because if you didn't bring up that motive, he wouldn't have ever killed. Like, yes, you kind of did force him. I bit my tongue.
I hate kids like you.
I don't exactly want you to think highly of me. You're not a level of sick, making a spectacle out of it all just to prove a point.
Hope's Peak does the same. But I hear you doing nothing but singing their praise.
That's different, and you know it.
Is it now?
I mean, Hope's Peak isn't killing people as far as I'm aware. I'm sure symbolically you guys could be doing the exact same thing, but from what I know, they aren't killing people directly. At least I guess they did kind of give Lyra her drugs, and because of the talents, some people may have been negatively affected by it. Looking at Amelia and Shinku's sister, but I mean, when you think more about it, I guess we kind of has a point. But I'm just gonna not think about it.
You know, kid, you don't have to act unmorally righteous around me. It's a cute show, I'll give you that. But you and I both know what you're really like. There's no need to hide it.
I mean, the two of us are the only people who don't have their secrets their crimes revealed yet, Fu. So why don't we have a pinky promise since we're not telling anyone? Come on, pinky out. I see the wine. Give me the pinky. You don't know what you're saying. Even if I've done wrong, it doesn't make me an awful person. Sure, buddy.
There's no need to be ashamed of it, kid. People put on shows all the time to feel better about shit. Or look like the better person. If you make a big enough spectacle out of something, throw enough money at a problem, go all at it in some big public show, it doesn't matter if you actually believe in a cause or idea, or if you're really feeling what you're saying you are. People will just assume you do.
I hardly see how that's relevant to anything here.
Poor writer. You're kinda shit at subtext, kid. I read that fanfiction you made for Zeke last chapter. By God, it was so obvious you just wanted to get close to him. Like, God. I don't even know what this yow ow thing is. Like even I could tell what you were going for, please. But it doesn't matter. You're not one to make any stances. Not even fake ones. Give enough lip service to everything. Stay nice and neutral, and I guess you figured you'd never get into any sort of trouble, huh?
I was just trying to hear both sides of the story. To be reasonable. Both sides are as bad as the other.
Oh, shut up, kid. Keep running your mouth like that, and you'll make me open another bottle to just get through it. Fucking centrists.
Excuse me? I'll have you know that I...
Yeah. Save it for your PR team, kid. I don't want to hear it. Besides, like it or not, you clearly have your biases. I don't think you can criticize me for being money hungry when you'll just as easily support whoever can keep slipping you more cash under the desk.
Whimpers.
Speaking of Hope's Peak, they make just as big of a spectacle out of themselves than this game is. They'll happily throw their cash around at any cause that makes them look good, whether they actually care or not. Whatever will placate the public.
Well, even if they don't care, at least they're funding useful causes.
Like the ultimate fanfiction writer, please, Shinku. What are you giving to them? It's pity drops in the bucket compared to how much money they could invest in them. But of course, People will eat it up because it's good enough for them. Looks nice and shiny on the surface, so they feel no need to dig deeper. They're lucky they don't. It only takes peeling a few layers back to see how corrupt things really are.
You're the last person in the world who would believe anything like that.
You're searching for answers, but you don't like anything I've got to offer you. What's your problem, kid? You know, if you think like that, you're not gonna do anything but make yourself upset talking to me. What? You a sadist?
I just know there has to be more to it.
I could tell you the government doesn't really give a shit about anyone, and you'd say I was just trying to get under your skin. Even if it's true. I could tell you that in the end, once you stop being useful, they'd scapegoat you to keep the status quo. But you just say I'm lying to make anti-ultimates look better. Ultimateurs, perhaps.
Ultimators, I mean, what?
Hell, I could ask why you think a government so concerned with helping the ultra-wealthy above all else would let the ultimate system thrive. But I don't think you'd have an answer. Or, well, you would, but you don't want to think too hard about it. You want your nice, easy money and a badge of honor for everyone to know just what a national treasure you are. You know, when show animals get old, outlive their usefulness, they often turn into breeding stock or euthanized.
Funny how neither happened to you.
Guess I ran off course before they could catch me.
Well, I'd rather be a show pony than an alcoholic stray trying to drag others off the track he grew too slow to run.
Suit yourself.
There was no use talking to Fu. I wasn't going to get anything useful out of him. All this talk about me not accepting what answers he had to give was just to make me doubt myself and believe his obvious lies. I was not stupid. I knew there were issues with the ultimate system and the current government. But I knew whatever issues they had, they would not senselessly kill people to prove a point. There was clearly no sense left in what was ultimately a bitter, washed out, disillusioned former ultimate. I mean, he's not a former ultimate, right? He's still an ultimate, so that's just bringing up a falsity. God, I actually, Fu is the person who I'm definitely least emotionally attached to out of the person. Like, if he died, I would be able to handle it. I wouldn't be. I could like, I guess I could start the dead life immediately without even have to think about it. Like, okay, bye Fu, whatever, bye. But I do think he's very interesting because he's not. He doesn't really care what other people think about him, and with this whole false persona about being someone running the game, I think it's so interesting seeing how he's given his thoughts about how he thinks about the world. I just really like seeing how he doesn't care what people think, so I can just talk to him, and I learn so much about it. Like you can't get a grasp on him because he doesn't care what anyone says about him. So no matter what you say, he's not really going to get a reaction unless you talk about like his wife or daughter. Then you could probably get a reaction out of him. But then again, he said in chapter 2,
You can't hurt me with what I already know, kid.
so I don't think there's really anything you can do to hurt him. So you can never really tell if he's being genuine or not. And obviously, I think this whole persona isn't genuine about running the game. But it's just interesting to think about how much of what he's saying is genuine, how much is not. What he's saying isn't. Because I think the persona, not well, maybe not the persona is the correct word, but his story about being running the game isn't true. But I think his beliefs that he's telling us is true, and he's using this persona to convey it in that way without us questioning it. Because in part, I wonder if he blames the system for existing for his mistakes. I'm not sure if that makes sense because if he became the ultimate salesman, obviously from underhanded means, but I wonder if because the idea of becoming ultimate was so grandiose to him, the system itself encouraged him to have underhanded tactics to get an ultimate title no matter what, and maybe he resents the fact that the ultimate system encourages people to do horrible things just so they can get a title. Maybe that's why he resents it so much because he was the one who he thinks the system caused him to do all that horrible things. And instead of blaming himself, he's blaming the system, and he wants to destroy it so other people don't follow in his footsteps to do absolutely atrocious actions just for the sake of getting a title, which doesn't really even mean much anymore. I feel like that'd be interesting. That's what I read from him, but I could be completely wrong. The night came upon me before I knew it, and the night meeting was already set to start. As apprehensive as I was about hosting them in Amelia's office, everyone else seemed to be comfortable talking. Also, do Asuka and Shinku both know Amelia from the past? Like, why are the two of them so comfortable about her? And if I'm correct about us eventually getting Asuka's POV, I think it's very interesting that the two people who have shown to have a quote unquote connection with Amelia are the only people we've had the POV of. I think that's a very interesting choice. Obviously, we haven't even seen if Asuka does get the POV, so I'm just rambling, but who knows? To the night office. But I couldn't help but feel a bit put off by how much they were scrutinizing Dr. Elenius.
I mean, God, everything she's doing right now is good. I think managing food and delegating tasks is a good idea in this situation. But I feel like this level of control could spiral into something really bad, really quick.
I don't like how she's pairing us up. I don't know if you notice or not, but I think she's trying to split apart anyone she might view as potentially problematic together.
It was fine with me. I had no issues working with Lyra.
Oh, you worked me alright, wink wink nudge nudge. Yeah, I'm not gonna brag, but we're pretty much at dream time.
Thus, like, it's one thing to, take charge of your dosage or whatever again. Like, sure, fine. I don't like it, but at least it's for your sake. But it's another thing to not let you sit in my cell anymore. It's pissing me off. It's like she's trying to punish me.
Where is Lyra sleeping? Is she sleeping in her own cell again? That is a bit rude if she is sleeping in her own cell. Why would she be doing that? She's got nothing in particular against you.
She's probably just jealous that I rightfully got wordy and she didn't. She's taking it out on me and punishing me just to knock me down a peg. That's it.
I mean, I feel like you're really overestimating the usefulness of the wordy verdict or the meaning of the wordy verdict. Like, from my eyes, being wordy means you get another chance. Not that people are validating all your past actions, but I feel like you're taking it as people are saying everything you did was okay and it wasn't wrong. But I really don't think that's what many people view the wordy verdict as, unless that's just me. Like, from Ismini's point of view, like from what we knew, we thought that Ismini killed a pedophile. So we thought that she, despite murdering someone being a bad thing, she deserves a second chance because we don't think she should be punished for the rest of her life because she murdered a pedophile. Obviously, we were wrong about that presumption because that was based on the original game. However, that was our thought process. We thought she deserved a second chance because of the type of person she murdered, and that's why she got a worthy verdict. Mint got a worthy verdict because we thought he had a good reason for it, so we thought needed a second chance. Taka got a corrupt verdict because that we couldn't really think of a valid reason why someone would do that to workers. So he didn't deserve a second chance from doing horrible things to just a normal person, right? Like, does that make sense? I won't go through all the other ones because like that will take forever. But you get the point. It's like worthy doesn't mean everything you did was good. It just means we think that you deserve a second chance in life, and you shouldn't be held back just because of a big mistake you made. I just think you're really taking the worthy verdict in the wrong way. Like, I don't know, Zeke.
I don't think any of us particularly care about the votes anymore.
Yeah. Now that all our crimes are out and we don't have any secrets left, I mean, why do we even bother about them? Like, don't even think about mine, guys. Shingu probably cares a lot about the votes, considering he's the only one who can be affected by them anymore.
Oh, that's rich coming from you.
I really think you're all being a little too harsh on her. She said over and over again that she clearly does want to help.
Well, saying a bunch of words is one thing, but at the end of the day, your actions speak far, far louder than your words.
And so far, her actions have shown that her actions regarding this motive hasn't been too crazy. It hasn't been like so dictatorship-ish. Like, she hasn't been a dictator. She's been quite open-minded this entire motive. Like, you saying her actions be far louder than her words, but her action with this motive have been quite reasonable, I would say. I do Some of her sentences have caught me off guard, but I feel like you are being a bit too harsh on her. When you say actions speak far louder than words, you're definitely instead of focusing on our past actions, you're focusing on what the potential of our actions could be, and that's why you're being so harsh. That's at least that's what I think. Obviously, the fact that she murdered Taka also weighs into it, and that is a valid reason to be concerned. But if we're just focusing on her actions with this motive, then she hasn't been too bad. I wasn't going to point out the irony of Asuka saying that, of all people, with Lyra and Ezekiel by the side, and it's meaning not exactly being by my side anymore. I get eaten alive if I said anything against them. Well, she hasn't taken any overly controlling actions, has she? Oh god, I'm agreeing with Shinku. Kill me.
But yet,
Huh? Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh my god. Drama? What happened?
this morning, when she pulled me out of my cell to get her to help with breakfast, I told her to fuck off. I wasn't going to do anything she asked.
Did she threaten to lock you in your cell?
And before, she was like, detached like she always is. But with that clinical politeness that always pisses me off just a bit. But when I made it clear I wasn't coming after a bit, she just randomly completely switched up. She became more firm, like she couldn't afford for me not to come. It was kind of freaky. And in that stupid, firm, authoritative tone, she said, it would be very easy to misplace Chatil's pills for the day.
Jesus!
I'd advise you to be mature about this.
What? What?
That's...
And she almost seemed surprised at how much it freaked me out. Like, what the hell did she expect me to say?
That's a little concerning. Little? I could take one bad withdrawal for me to die. Yeah, so now I feel like I should just make my words into a buffet and eat them like a pig, because now I feel like everything I've just said has been contradicted. Thanks, Zeke. Well, that is a bit worrisome. Zeke didn't even do anything particularly bad, and she's already coming out with that, and I don't like being used like that. My life isn't a bargaining chip. I'm not just leverage. I'm my own person. What the fuck?
Hey guys, I am joining this conversation because it sounds like fun. Are you surprised? She spent her whole life weighing people's values against one another. Of course she's not gonna stop now.
Emilia coming in, not trying to just disrupt our entire conversation. Emilia's gonna pop in every time and just drop the little seeds to get everyone against Laura even more, and feed and water in the seeds of doubt, and so they can blossom into something terrible and murder can happen. I will say, last night was the night where Laura got quote unquote interviewed by someone. So I wonder if that interview has something to do with it, and that's why her emotions were so high, or maybe they said something to her. Because Zeke said her tone was in a way that she couldn't afford for Zeke not to come. So I feel like if in that interview someone said something to her about having Zeke needing to make breakfast, okay, I'm not sure why they would say that in specific, but maybe the person in the interview gave her certain instructions on how certain people have to act, and if she didn't do that, something bad would happen to her. Or maybe there's more to this motive than we know, and since she's a warden, maybe she has access to other places that we're unaware about, and because of that access she has more restrictions on her with how she acts as a warden, and she has to act a certain way, which is why she was so authoritative towards Zeke. I'm just throwing out ideas because I feel like it was a random switch up, even when murdering Taka she didn't even like switch up that badly.
Doctors are all like her. You give them a certificate and suddenly they think they're above everybody else. And because they can save lives, they're also legally certified to play God.
Your dad was a doctor? Why are we assuming that from that sentence, even though in one of the free time event sessions we came to Amelia and told us that, so I'm not sure why you're confused, Shinku.
Yeah, he was the ultimate surgeon or whatever.
Excuse me for asking, but then, why on earth did you join this ridiculous movement? Surely that meant he was well off. You must have been secured for life.
Not that it's any of your business, but it's not much of a life if you're constantly dragged out of your mind and stuck recovering from surgeries you didn't need.
What the fuck?
I don't want to get into it. All I can say is that if you got a title, you can get away with pretty much anything. No reason for '06 to be an exception.
No reason for 06. Oh, that's a Laura. Okay. Well, forgive me for thinking I'd be different. That she'd learned anything. Jesus Christ.
Did anyone else experience anything like that? Shinku, you were paired with her today. Did anything bad happen?
No, I didn't have anything like that happen to me. And here comes Zeke saying,
God, you're her biggest simp. You're just gonna stand up for anything she says. Of course she wouldn't treat you like that way. You're the one person here who still licks her acid-washed boots.
Ezekiel, I read you like a book.
You give her far more patience than she deserves. But that's nothing new for you, is it?
You didn't tell her about these missions, did you?
I didn't. I just was. I would say panicking and repeatedly saying that you didn't tell her is not going to help your case. But what Zeke brought up is concerning, yes. But at this stage, I think it's best we just try to not step out of line too much. I think she knows what she's doing here. Let's just see how things turn out before we decide to do anything drastic. All right. Her intentions are clearly good.
That.
I suppose we'll just have to see what tomorrow will bring.
We should probably get going. It's getting pretty late. Before we go, Amelia, this is for you. It was very important that I said this in the entire group so everybody could see me, watch me give this to you.
Asuka placed the packet with the remaining marshmallows we hadn't roasted earlier on Amelia's desk, the warden blinking at it in surprise.
What's this? Just a little thanks for letting us use your office as our meeting spot. Plus, a little preemptive apology if we're too loud.
Amelia picked one up cautiously.
You were roasting these earlier, right?
I saw it on the cameras. Is there cameras in this room? I am staying here the whole time to watch the cameras to see if I can watch anybody murder. Where are these cameras? Is there a secret room? Which just further implies my theory about there being rooms that Laura might have access to. Yeah, that's kind of what you do with marshmallows. I mean, who would eat them without roasting them? Like, that's just kind of psychotic. I would never do that. I'm totally not psychotic like that. Trust me.
I wouldn't know. I've never had them.
What kind of sad life have you lived where you haven't had marshmallows?
What kind of sad life have you lived where you have to get people to kill themselves to make you feel like a man?
Holy shit. Amelia paused and let out a sigh after snapping back, leaning back and whipping out a lighter from her pocket to toast the marshmallow. Nash making eye contact with us.
My dad didn't like me having too much sugar, and I never really thought to try them when it ran away. Even now, a lot of sweet stuff tastes a little overwhelming. I guess I'm not all that used to it, or some shit like that. That's why I haven't had one. So why have you let so many people kill themselves, Zeke? I'm curious.
She waited until the edges were a bit charred.
The cupboards were full of sugary garbage when we first arrived. Did you not think to try them then?
Huh.
Amelia mumbled something under her breath.
What was that?
She groaned a bit and flicked down her lighter sharply.
I'm not allowed to leave this room. I just eat what's in the staff room, which is limited, but it keeps me alive. Okay, Abby, good enough explanation.
Oh, what? Okay, what the?
Let's just stop talking. This isn't about me.
She calmed down a little bit and popped the marshmallow in her mouth.
Huh. So?
Huh. It's good.
See? I thought it would be your thing. Feel free to keep the rest of them. I think the rest of us is all pretty marshmallowed out from the campfire earlier. Yeah, sure. Weren't you guys meant to be gone already? God, I don't even want you here. Leave already. Oh, right. We're leaving now. Good. I hate you all. Bye. I hate you all.
Very well. I'll see you all in the morning.
We all went to leave, but we were stopped just before we could.
Wait, oh my god, I don't be alone again, so I don't leave me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Asuka shot Amelia a white smile.
Anytime.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I don't care about any of it. Just get out already. We all shuffled out. It felt a little silly to me how kind Asuka was being to Amelia, but oddly enough, the warden was surprisingly receptive to it. But I couldn't dwell on it for too long, as when we stepped out, we were greeted by a familiarly bizarre face. Is this the janitor?
Wait,
Yo.
Now that's interesting. It's one thing to see so many of you together these days, but coming out of that room of places, that's something else.
Who the hell are you?
It's him, the janitor. Oh my god, I'm not delusional. I haven't been having hallucinations. Oh my god.
The one Dracul looked for? I do have a name, you know. I'm not gonna tell you it, but I do have one.
Then why make that distinction? I'm gonna call you Janai.
Absolutely not.
What's your problem?
What in God's name were you all doing in here?
I don't think it's any of your business, bucko.
Oh, please don't tell me you're the one giving that resident an ultimate parasite pity of all people. She's the last person who deserves that.
How come she can't leave that room? And how come your voice is so unintelligible?
Why are you asking me? See, I'm Rob and I'm tradition-wise. I have no idea. But I don't know why you were so concerned even if I knew. There's no point helping someone like her. It doesn't matter how thoughtful you are with her, she'll always hate you. Because you're all ultimates, in case you'd forgotten.
Dude, who even cares at this point? This is about life and death. At this point, I'm far beyond caring about any stupid ultimate politics. I just want the people I care about alive. If that takes a minute the system is kind of shitty, then I'd do it in a heartbeat. Everyone knows it sucks anyway. Let's not pretend we don't.
As you find a legitimate talent like her say that, you never had any real talent. They just wanted to set you up. But the rest of you? Come on. Seriously? Grow up. These people hate you. They want you to suffer and kill one another, and they won't stop until all of you are dead or suffering in some capacity. I'll send that precious little message. Don't let their existence are awful. Make you forget who you are. Make you turn away from the fact you are ultimates. You are special, and you are chosen by the top of society itself to be everyone's hope, to fix things, to make life better. Astute ultimates like us, primed and trained by the figureheads that our system is as strong as it is. We're what keeps the society together, help maintain the status quo.
But what's the point when the status quo keeps getting so many people hurt? Keeps failing people? It's clearly not working if so many people are so unhappy with ultimates.
I know what you care about so much. You all benefit from this. Why would you want to support someone who embodies a movement that wants to strip away that happiness? This system will never fail you. It'll do nothing but help you. Do you really want to stop receiving those benefits? But it's not about that, is it? Don't get me wrong. I don't understand those anti-ultimate fools one bit. But, personally, I enjoy my talent because it's a recognition of my merit. It's absolute proof of my academic achievements. But at the end of the day, everyone aims to hold on to their title for as long as possible for the sake of their legacy, do they not? To prove absolute mastery in a field.
It was weird to hear Ermini so talkative again these days. Whenever I was around, she hardly talked at all.
Oh please, don't act like it's a surprise thing. You can act all noble like all you like in public, but does not act like part of why you want to keep your title is the benefits. No one can fault you for that. It's normal to want wealth. I do not know what life is like without us. And if you don't want to find out, you won't listen to anything that stupid child from Warren has to say. But I wouldn't care one bit if Host Peak reduced my funding. It's never been about that to me. Surely it's the same for everyone else. Being an ultimate is about status. Absolute proof of your talent, of your success and hard work. Having such recognition is more valuable than any stipend. So it's hardly a crime to be an ultimate, is it? To be proud of one's success? Secureness? Of course not. then why don't we simply remove the fun in ultimates receive? That would quell those who are simply just jealous, would it not? Because then who on earth would even want to be an ultimate? It would be worthless. But, but being an ultimate is a good thing. I worked my whole life to get where I am. It's meant to be something to be proud of. I was always told ultimates were the pinnacles of society, and the pillars that held it together. We help people. So why on earth are so many people so angry that they've been pushed into doing this? Normal people, not just jealous underachievers. Why should I feel guilty for being in a position that I worked so hard to get to in the first place? Because I always thought getting to this point, getting an ultimate, I thought that would make anyone the happiest they could ever be. But Hagiko, her talent, it just made her miserable, didn't it? I, I don't get it. It was meant to help her. Why didn't it? What went wrong?
Okay, it's meaning you're kind of meant to let the other guy in the argument point this out and then have an existence crisis. You're having to figure that out yourself. You're kind of just having a one-sided argument here, and kind of like you're having a breakdown. So like, Ismini, please help. Help.
Am I going to go wrong somewhere?
I mean, you kind of murdered someone, so you kind of already went wrong, and you tried to force people to we tried to force your friends into a trial bond, so you never leave them be. So you kind of did go wrong. Is kind of an understatement for you. You did go wrong somewhere. You kind of went miserably wrong somewhere, I would say.
Or am I just missing something?
A conscious?
Am I hurting people somehow? Did pushing that professor and killing him with a spike hurt him? Did making all those people think did tricking all those people into murdering someone and not make them forced with having that guilt for the rest of their life hurt them? I don't understand. You're not, for God's sake. That spike was just it barely even pierced them. Gone there. You're fine. For God's sake, don't let them get to your head. See, this is the issue of giving the someone like the one pity. She puts all these confusing ideas in your head. Starts making you think you don't deserve what you got.
Oh, how dare someone else make us think from a different perspective? How dare she? Even though I think the killing game is the wrong way to prove it. How dare I feel like making us think is not the bad thing in the situation. It's the killing game is the bad thing.
Don't listen to her if you know what's good for you.
I don't think we should be listening to Yo either.
Well, you won't have to in a moment.
What's that meant to?
But before Ezekiel could finish his sentence, he was hit over the head with a janitor's broom and knocked out. I'm just saying, there was 5 of us. We could take him. There's 4 of us now, but we could still take him. Ezekiel may have been the stronger person of the group, but we have Asuka. We have... Yeah, we have Asuka. The 3 of us are probably just going to get out immediately. But come on, it's 4 of us. 4v1, we got this.
Dragging 5 of you back is gonna be a pain. Ugh. I better get more than a 3-minute break of this.
Why don't you just let us go back to our rooms? Why'd you have to knock us out? Before I could process what was happening, he started knocking the rest of us out, and I too fell victim to his deadly broom. Okay, well that just felt unnecessary. I don't know why you had to do that. And everything once again fell back black. Damn it, I misspoke. Ismini II. The Curious Case of Ismini Cersei, Tape 3. However, we are going to be getting into the Curious Case of Ismini next week. Yeah, this was a bit of a shorter episode, but you know what? It's fine. We got Food's Free Time event, and we got that nice wholesome, maybe wholesome is the wrong word. We got that nice second group nice meeting. Hooray! And once again, with that interaction between Ismini and the janitor and Amelia, it's really interesting to see all the different characters with different perspectives interact with each other, and some of them realizing that the world isn't just as black and white as they once thought. Like Ismini never had to think about what life was like without wealth, and so she can't really fathom the fact that some people might only want the ultimate talent just because of the money that comes with it. And seeing Kiyoshi, oh, well, oops, I just said his name by accident. Presumably Kiyoshi, the janitor, um, presumably because of how much drastic measures the um the anti-ultimaters are taken, and considering the fact that since Kyoshi was the ultimate, I believe it was investor or something along the lines of that, and only cares about money. Since the system gives him more money, of course he wouldn't care whatever happens to it. And obviously, and there's Yeah, it's very interesting to see all the different characters interact with each other, and obviously because we have this Mini who essentially's always lived well. She never had to. She can't even fathom the idea that some people don't really want an ultimate talent because they're wealthy. We have Kiyoshi, who I think was the ultimate investor as Janitor, and because he's so hell bent on making as much money as I can, since the current ultimate system benefits him, obviously he just why would he want it to go away? There's Amelia, whose dad was an abusive parent and did horrible things to her, and was an ultimate, so she just inherently thinks all ultimates are terrible people. And this is why she's running this killing game with ultimates who have done crimes to show that they are terrible people. But yeah, I think it's just so interesting all these different characters interact with each other, seeing all different worldviews, see how Asuka is hypercritical of Alora even before she knew what she had done to Zeke. And especially what Alora did to Zeke, that's actually crazy. I don't know why she did that. But seeing how Asuka is reacting and the hypocrisy she has towards Laura being too controlling when she was a controller of her troop. I really enjoyed this game, and I'm really enjoying how all the different characters react and all the different worldviews and how they interact. And it really shines how Ismini actually self-reflected for the first time in this entire game. I think ignoring her relationship with Shinku. Realizing that why do people do get the ultimate titles if it's not for the grandeur of it? What's going on? I really enjoyed it, but there's nothing else for me to say. Next Saturday, we're gonna watch the interview with Ismini, probably see a breakdown like we did with the lore, and then after that we'll do the second part of the motive. And because I spent so long yapping, we might only get through those two scenes, but hopefully not. Maybe we'll get to a free time event and we actually get an actual hangout and cool CG like we did with Food had this chapter, because I think that we've done 4 free time events so far, and 3 of them had we've done 3 in a row without no special cool CG event, and I'm tired. I need another one for my own satiation. But with that said, there's nothing else for me to say. Bye bye.